The friend zone, the place where men go where they feel like they don't have any other choice. The place where men go where they don't want to put in the work to be great. And before y'all get on my case already, I'm not saying you can't be friends with girls at all. That's not what I'm saying. But being in a woman's friend zone is the choice you make as a man when your testosterone levels are low. Because it is 100% a choice. Like one of my favorite content creators, Young Don, said, when a man walks up to a woman, there's two doors. One has intimacy behind it and one is the friend zone. And if a girl doesn't want to let you into the first door, she'll give you the option to the second door. And you have the choice as a man to either say, oh no, I'm good, I only wanted to go in this door. Or you can walk into the friend zone and be in there for a while. And that is 100% how that works. And no, it's not mean, rude, or nasty to not want to be friends with a girl because she rejected you. In reality, you didn't want to be her friend at all. So don't waste your time in her friend zone, is basically what he was saying. Today we're talking about the men who walk in the door number 2. Not, crapping on them or nothing, but this might be some guidance. This might be something they need to hear. One of my reasons for why being in a friend zone is so stupid, especially if she's already rejected you, is because she's just going to use you for validation. And you're not going to really be able to get anything else. Because even if girls see you hanging out with that girl, they're going to see that you're just friends. They're going to see that she already rejected you, and that's going to turn them off because you are being a man who needs validation. And that is disgusting to women. Now, like I said, in some cases, it's not weird or abnormal to be friends with girls, especially if it's like a childhood friend, family friend, things of that nature. But being friends with a girl who you are attracted to is stupid. I know a lot of y'all gonna say, oh, well, I was friends with my girlfriend before we got serious, or I was friends with my wife. And that's when I say there's a difference between there not being a romantic interest at first between both of y'all, and then y'all formed one, y'all kind of got to know each other, y'all really liked each other. And then there's a difference between liking a girl, going up to her, being scared to get rejected, so you become her friend, being super friendly with her thinking that you are just being friendly, her getting that vibe of you, her knowing too much about you, you not having any mystery, and then one day you finally somewhere in the near future get the balls to try and ask her out, and she gets weirded out because she's like, oh, I thought we were just friends, I didn't even know you saw me like that. Sometimes they know that you are into them, sometimes they know you are scared to kind of make that move, and that is also repulsive because why are you scared? Women like confidence. So if it's coming out of a place of fear, it's gonna be unattractive no matter what, I'm sorry to tell you. But if you being her friend at first, especially if it's in a scenario where y'all are very knowable of each other, whether it's church, whether it's work, whether y'all like business partners, whatever, that's completely different than being scared to ask a girl to like, what's up on the first attempt. And I learned that at the age of like 20. Yes, I was literally 20 years old when I realized that if you are into a girl, you should be straight up about it because it shows a form of confidence and it shows a form of not wasting your time. Because that's also another thing. Why would you waste your time like that when you could be getting with her? You're already trying to hang around her. You might as well do it in an intimate way at an attempt, because in the future, you're going to want it in an intimate way in general. So you're going to waste your time not getting the intimacy. And what are you doing? But anyways, like I was saying, 20 years old, I knew that. There are dudes in their 30s who are still attempting to be in a girl's friend zone to try and get like intimacy with her. Now, granted, I'm not saying it never works. So let's just throw that out the window. But like I said, I feel like it's super inefficient, super ineffective, and takes a long time. Because you do have to put time into it if you're going to do it that way. If you're going to be a girl's friend, you got to probably hear her vent about the dudes who are doing her dirty, vent about some other stuff that you don't really care about, and everything else that comes with being friends with girls who are into drama. Like, that's how that works, guys. Like, I've never really been the guy to have a bunch of female friends because that's just not my style. I like too many masculine things. And even when it comes to being friends with people, let's be honest, men still don't want to be like genuine friends with unattractive girls. Like girls who are deemed like socially unattractive. And socially attractive girls don't really like super masculine things that they can like talk about. And the attractive girls who do like masculine things and do like hanging out with guys, we already know how those girls are. Girls are just too much drama for me. I'd rather be friends with guys. Don't date those girls, by the way. Side note. But the reason I feel like a lot of dudes stay in that friend zone is because they would rather be friends with the girl than to be into her, get rejected, and just not talk to her. And I feel like that comes from already forming a connection with the girl. And that's why that's a dangerous route to go. That's why I say you should always be straightforward in some way, shape, or form. Like, getting to know a girl isn't being her friend. Getting to know a girl should be courting if you are into the girl. Like, let's be honest. But there's dudes who do just really want to be around her, like just love her presence, which you like it for a reason, and you're not going to get the reason. And then there's these things called orbiters. Orbiters are men who basically orbit around the girl, you know, metaphorically, and help her out with things, see if she needs anything. And when he gets that time to strike like a cobra, he strikes like a cobra. Whether it's, he'll always see if she needs something done with her car, you know, because, you know, she's just a girl. She doesn't know how her car works. Or the dude who she actually is rocking with does her dirty and she needs someone to answer that call at 2 a.m. in the morning, which if you available at 2 a.m. in the morning, we got issues, man. Or the dudes who are just waiting for her to just text back, you know, like, oh, like, let's go get food. Like, she needs a little attention. Let's go get food. Boom, cobra strike. And what does she do? She becomes a mongoose. She's potent to that. You gonna strike, you gonna make that strike, and it ain't gonna do nothing to her. She gonna still be like, we can't. And you know, sometimes you do get lucky. Let's be honest. Sometimes you get that small amount of luck, or maybe you get with her one night. Maybe you were around her, you in the talking stage kind of with her for like a week or 2 or 3, something around there. Sometimes she just comes back to that realization. Sometimes she just becomes, oh wait, I forgot. I remember why I don't like this guy. He does this, he does that. And now guess where you back in? You back in the friend zone. That line just got drawn. You crossed it. You were able to cross it. She allowed you to cross it. Get back over there. And then after she segregates you from the men who she actually wants, you go right back to being an orbiter. Whoop, 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 Jupiter, Saturn, whoever you want to be. Now, I know it's easy to look at me and be like, oh, Dab, you a hater, blah, blah, blah. But, bro, I experienced this so much in high school. And it was always the same thing. I would like a girl in high school. I would like be like real cool with her, try and be a little buddy with her. I'd be scared to make that move. And then, boom, friend zone. And it ain't even really the friend zone at times. I feel like the friend zone most of the time is a girl being like, oh, well, he's really nice and I don't want to be mean to him. Because, you know, unless you're being a weirdo, she's probably not going to tell you you can't be in her friend zone. Like, even if she wants to just be genuine about it, a girl who is not letting you be her friend is a girl who just realizes you're trying a little too hard, you're kind of harassing her, you're doing a little too much. Unless she's just straight up honest and it's kind of like, you might try, you know, but just know it ain't gonna change. And she might remind you of that constantly, but you still do it. That it's hard for her to just be like, nah. And that's where it's kind of like, yeah, you think you have a chance, and that's cool. Have that confidence. But you're not showing real confidence by just thinking that she might one day slip up. And let's be honest, do you even want that as a man to like be like, oh yeah, my girlfriend, we used to be friends, and then one day all the dudes she wanted just, you know, stopped really rocking with her. That happened to like so many celebrities. Like, I love this dude, but Patrick Mahomes, apparently his girl rejected him before. And allegedly she didn't get with him until, I guess, she kind of found out that he had a future going. Somewhere around there. I could be wrong. Heck, LeBron's wife rejected him before, allegedly. But she rejected him when, you know, he already had a future. Like, he had potential when she rejected him. She just eventually changed her mind. And then, you know, about all the other celebrities, you know, I think Travis Hunter, you know, the athletes who, you know, they date their high school sweetheart and their high school sweetheart rejected them before. Or, you know, y'all know how the vibe is. And like I said, if that's you, that's no offense to you. I'm like I say, teach his own. I don't want to offend anybody with my videos. So yeah, like I say, try to just think about it for a bit. Before the hate comments come, think about it really. But yeah, hey, I ain't got too much to say. This one should be short. Thanks for watching. If you watched to the end, like, comment, subscribe if you liked it. Check out some of my other stuff on the channel. It's gonna be like right here, and then like right here. It's gonna be some of my other stuff. Hey, check it out, man. You know, you might like it. But hey, that's all I gotta say. Deuce.